Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I want to give you like a few tips and tricks when it comes to the early game, or well, basically give you guys the ultimate beginner's guides as far as, as my knowledge can help you out. But I'm hoping to cover as many things as possible and not make you feel overwhelmed at the same time, because you know what, there's lots of things to keep in mind about Dragonheir. It's a pretty awesome game. It has lots of cool things, mechanics, exploration parts, dungeons and all that, but I want to just cover the first things that you should be aware, I guess, in the at least the first 3 days of the gameplay, like how to start the game and all that. And after that, I'm gonna continue posting videos, so if you're interested into still playing this game and you want more guides, you want to learn more, like where you get stuck, you might stuff like that, make sure to subscribe to this channel to see when I'm gonna upload next, because I'm trying to keep daily content. But let's jump into the first thing. So the first thing after you download the game is going to be choosing your server. Okay, so for example, I logged out of my main one because I already played day 1. This is the day 2 when I'm recording this, and you're gonna see your target plane. Okay, as soon as you get over here, there's gonna be, if you played in the closed beta, you should have existing character. You click that one, and only after that you can choose on which server to go. If you're a new player, this is the first time you're playing, click new server list, and then you would go and choose whichever one of these ones you want to play. If it's just you starting playing on your own, and you don't have other friends that started playing, you can choose whichever. And normally I think that the one at the top is the newest one, so always try to go to the newest server so you don't fall too much behind. Okay, or there's another alternative. This is something really important if you're playing with other friends, or you already have friends that started, or a community or something. There's the server invitation code. So over here, if you already know that you have people that started playing on a certain server and have an alliance, they can click the alliance themselves. Once they reach level 2, they're gonna have an invitation code. They give you that code, you introduce it here, you confirm it, and basically you're gonna go straight on that server where that alliance is. Okay, and it should get you set and ready to play alongside your friends. So that's the first one. So let's say, for example, for me, let's say I go into Fountain Interplanar 2, and then you would go into the game. I think that first of all there's going to be a little bit of a first intro, which I'm gonna skip this. I'm gonna come back afterwards, but if you guys want to watch it, just start the game. You're gonna see it has an amazing intro. Okay, so after we are past the the initial intro and the initial fight, which obviously looks amazing, you're gonna get yourself to the character creation part. Okay, so once you get over here, you have 4 options. You have the human, you have the dwarf, you have the half elf, and then you have lizard folk. Every single one of these have a different type of basic stats they start with. So if you look at human, you start with 10 strength, 10 intelligence, 11 dexterity, constitution, charisma, and wisdom. Dwarf has more strength and constitution, half elf has more charisma, and then lizard folk has more strength. So these ones influence a little bit some of the parts in the story, or some interactions with the NPCs on the map. So they're not, it does not break your account if you choose to customize them in whichever way you want, or if you try to invest in certain one of these ones. However, the ones that we figured out are kind of like the best ones to invest for the sake of helping you mostly in the game are the intelligence, because this one helps you, get insight into the truth that no one else understands, but at the same time helps you with cooking. You have a higher chance to roll a big number so you can get more stuff from cooking. And then the next one is dexterity, which helps you to steal from people. So most of the time you don't have to go and buy certain objects. It just makes you be able to steal them, open some chests that are not easily opened. So these are the first 2 things. I'm not going to go too much to the customization, because this is something, well, you can go in there, just pick whatever you want and customize them however you want. As an example, I can go like, let's go green. You can change facial patterns. They have different things. They have different hairstyles. So this is pretty amazing, that's for sure. This is pretty amazing. Then you can change clothing, everything. And you would continue and have whatever name, green lizard. Let's put the name green lizard OP. Okay, let's go in there. Hopefully nobody has the same name. But yeah, after you get past that point, you're gonna get into the first tutorial part of the game. Okay, so you're basically thrown in here, like, okay, what's happening? Well, this is where the story starts for Dragonheir. And honestly, if you're somebody that likes a little bit of story, I suggest, even though it's might take a long while, but I suggest you read almost everything and read through the story, because the story of this game is amazing. And that's the whole idea of Dragonheir SilentGods. It has that Dungeons and Dragons side to it, apart from having the tabletop fights, having the dice rolled and all that. They have an amazing story, and you know, myself included, and myself, I also watched all of the story because it was pretty good. I watched in the closed beta. Now it's the same story in season 1, so I did not do that. So I suggest you do that. I suggest you listen to like every single one of the interactions that you do. Just follow along, click every single dots that you see in there, and just listen to absolutely everything. And that kind of transitions into the quest part of thing. Okay, you're gonna be pushed into the right directions by the quest that you have over here. Okay, like the first tab, it tells you what to do. But at the same time, when you get into spots where there's several people to interact with, make sure you talk to every single one of those ones. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm not gonna go through all of this one. I'm gonna jump back on the main account and show you some other things, like some other examples of how you can do quests and what quests I'm talking about. So you know, I'll be right back from the other account. Okay, so we're on the main account, and now as I was saying about the quest, so if you look over here, you're gonna open, after you pass through the tutorial, you're gonna open up the journal. This is the one that's gonna guide you through what you have to do. So first at the top, you have your adventure, and this tells you, you know, what you have to do in order to progress. It's definitely a good guide towards improving your account and doing the right things at the right time. So make sure you follow this one. Then at the same time, make sure you do your daily commissions, because these are extremely important. If you don't do your daily commissions, you kind of lose out a little bit on the progression. But the good side of this is the fact that they stack up. Okay, so let's say you don't have the time to play every single day, they stack up. You know, today I have 2, if I skip them I get 4 tomorrow, then I get 6, and then they double the XP and so on. But you know, if you can do them, they're really fast. Join the game, do them, it takes you like 2 minutes to do them, and then you can just close the game, and that's about it. So keep in mind, these are really important because the game has a little bit of a soft cap. Every single day you get stuck at a certain point, and yeah, these help you progress further. So that's the quest side. Now when it comes to the side quests, as I was talking about, see, you go into the whatever like crowded area, you see every single person has something in there that you want to talk with, and make sure you do that, because sometimes there might not be, you know, a purple or a orange dot, but you might be able to open some quests just by talking with them every single day. See, after you did it once, it's gonna disappear. So make sure you go and talk with every single person, because you're gonna be able to unlock some quests that might not be obvious. Okay, so just by talking with every single one of them, and by doing that, you're gonna get some extra rewards. Okay, they're not gonna influence your story progress, you're not gonna get journey XP, but you're gonna get yourself tons of free summons. You're gonna get lots of starlight die, you're gonna get lots of war marrow. So it's definitely worth doing this one. Definitely keep that in mind. Now let's talk a little bit about the first team. Okay, so when we start the game, the first people that we get is our adventurer, which this is the most important one. Keep this in mind, guys. I'm gonna make a separate video for this, I think tomorrow or the day after. But the traveler slash the adventurer, like, you know, your main character, it's the most important character in the game, and he should always be the first one that you level up. You know, you're gonna level up the other people alongside him to progress, but the adventurer is the first one because he can switch between affinities. He can be fire, lightning, and frost. I'm gonna go more into this, like I said, tomorrow, but for now, keep in mind, adventure is the main one. Then you get yourself Exandra, which is an amazing healer. You 100% can go and invest in her because she's a really good healer. You get Notira, she's a pretty good damage dealer. So for early on, make sure you invest in her. She can do some decent damage, you know, don't go crazy. Don't start, this is the first warning, do not start booking people from the beginning, okay? Do not use skill upgrades only for your adventurer, because it's the only person that you can use them for. When it comes to other people, do not use your skill scrolls, because you have 6 days where you can decide. I'm going to show you after I talk about the first team, but you have 6 days where you can reset. Okay, so just play with them. So your first core team could be the traveler, then you can have, like I said, Hexandra, which is the healer. She's pretty amazing. She could even carry you up until the end game, so she's definitely one to keep in mind. Notira as an amazing DPS. Up until day 3 you can use the, let's see, what is it, the frost person that, oh no, frost, bruh, the frost tank that we get, the ice one. You can use for a bit, but after that, on your third day of logging in, you're gonna get Horus, which is an awesome tank. Okay, you're gonna get him as a free login champ. He's gonna be a perfect tank for you, and he's gonna also be the right synergy. We're gonna talk about that as well. But yeah, so like I said, you have Adventurer, Notira, Healer, Horus, and then the last DPS can be Gulal, which was again the guy with the bird. So that's a good starting point. Okay, and then you're obviously gonna start pulling doing some summons and stuff like that, and that can make you decide who to continue building. I cannot speak. Now, if we're talking about summons, let me show you what I suggest. So this is not going to be relatable because this is my account from the closed beta. Okay, so I carried over lots of summons, lots of resources, but in the early days, let's say maybe do not pull the Healer Light die, but definitely it's not worth saving. Pull every single one of the Starlight die that you get, because these ones give you a chance to get good, rare, or epic champions. If you're not sure who are going to be good champions to work on later on, keep in mind, I have a tier list that I worked on alongside Scratch and Skiasteric, so just check the pinned comment and description of this video. You're going to be able to find the tier list, and you can go and check it and see, like, is this a good champion, is this a bad champion, and that's going to help you out decide on building your team. Okay, so yeah, definitely when it comes to someone, just pull everything. When it comes to this one though, this is a 30-day event, so as soon as the server is created, this one goes on for 30 days. If you manage to summon 80 Healer Light die in those days, you get a guaranteed new legendary. This is not guaranteed that you can do it as free to play, so unless you're a spender, I would advise maybe don't go for this. Maybe save your Healer Light die, just pull Starlight and wait for the other summoning events, because if you want to see what other summoning events are gonna come, you click over here, the events. So we're gonna start talking a little bit about the events. And you click over here, which is behind me, upcoming events. Okay, and basically every single one of these is going to show you what are the upcoming summoning events. So instead of trying to pull 80, which I'm quite sure we're not going to be able to reach, trust me, you might be like, okay, let me see, the first event that comes in here, you can click I need to move myself again, hero overview. Okay, and it shows you, okay, these are the legendaries. You can click and see every single one of them. Same thing for the epics, and you might be like, you know what, these might actually be the good epics to go for. Like Frurbaf is amazing, Vidimir can be good, some of the new ones. Same thing, go to the next one, hero overview again, good legendaries in here, amazing epic. So I suggest, like, I think this is what I'm gonna suggest to people, wait for this one. If you're in the first day that you're playing, wait, save your Starlight die and go for this one, because this is a better pool of champions, considering the fact that if you're not going to spend, you're not going to be able to pull 80. Okay, you're not going to be able to pull 80 to just get that guaranteed one, so you're better to just pull on a banner. It's not the best summoning system in you know, in the gacha world, but you know what, it's something. And the good thing about this game is the fact that you can beat the game completely free to play by only using epics and rares. Trust me, I've done that. There's several people that have done that. My wife OddOneGaming is gonna do a Starlight die challenge where she's only gonna pull these dice. So she's gonna do that, and she's gonna show people alongside some other content creators that it can be done. So keep in mind, don't be like, oh, I'm not getting legendaries. This game is season based. So what that means is every season when it ends, which like every season is 90 days, every single one of your heroes that you get, you carry over to the next one, and then you're gonna pull again, and then you carry over. So you know, you're gonna keep getting those rewards, you're gonna keep getting more and more heroes. So don't be upset if you don't get all the legendaries in day one. Okay, now let's go back to the events tab and show you a few of the events that this is really important. So you definitely want to follow the events tab as well, because it can give you a ton of good rewards. First thing that appears at the top is Clepsydra Torrent. This is what I was talking about. For 5 days you can go and reset any champion that you want. So you can invest on whoever you want for the first 5 days, and then before you get to the end, you can reset and just focus your resources in the team that you think does best. So as an example, I have here Fire with Poison. It's like, okay, I have my 5 team, I like that. But let's say I want to start using some legendaries, which are like, for example, I want to use this one, which is Radiant. Well, Radiant does not have elemental affinity with this one, so I might reset and be like, okay, this is gonna be my core team. So keep in mind, you can do this. You can reset this infinitely in these 5 days. You can keep resetting and keep testing. And this is something that can help you pass certain certain milestones or like some things that blockade you, which are like the, what's it called, the elemental dungeons. So let me show you what I'm talking about. These three ones, the fire, the frost, and then the lightning down here, are the three dungeons which give us kind of like the ascension potions. And the thing is, if you start farming them, let's say you start your first team like I showed, I have fire and poison. Well, once I go higher, this one's, my people are going to be worse. They're going to do 30% less damage and get 30% more damage. Same thing, I go higher, it becomes worse and worse. So in order for me to progress, I cannot use my fire and poison people. But what I can do is, I can go to the Clipside torrent, reset my people that are fire and poison, invest in a team that's completely different elements, come and farm the resources that I get, then reset and then go again. That's something really important that's going to help you in these 5 days. So make sure you try to do that because it's going to boost your progress. So this is one of the best things. Then hard training, try to do as much as you can from this because again, there's a ton of rewards. Healer I Die, Word Marrow, Affinity Solvents, Essence of Creation is good for gear, what's it called, experience potions. So hard training is another one that, you know, don't go crazy and waste all of your war marrow just to get some more marrow, but if you can do a little bit to push to get as high as you can over here, I recommend it. At the same time, if you get in, you know, in the top ranking, if you see over here in the ranking, you get some extra rewards. So, you know, it's definitely worth doing. It's definitely worth doing. Now the next one is one step ahead. This is basically just showing you the story. I already did this in the closed beta, but every time you do this, you're gonna get some free rewards. Okay, Healer I Die, more Healers I Die, then at the end is average, but this is after you complete the whole story basically, or most of it, because there's an end game part that's not included in here. Then Adventure Gathering, this is where you can get some free resources. So let's say you create a new account, you're going to be able to use somebody's code to bond with them, but once you hit level 6, you can use the quick share button, get this code and give it to people, and first person that logs in gives you a Starlight Die. Then after that, if we click over here on the bond list, shows you that there are 3 people. If you want 3 people, not more than that, if those 3 people hit level 25, they're gonna get Healer I Die, and even those people that, you know, bonded with you, they're gonna get some free resources as well. But don't share it to too many people. You only need 3. After you hit those 3, you cannot get any more. So let other people help each other. You know, try to get your codes with your friends, connect 3, then go to the next one and so on. Okay. Then the next one, Twitch drop. This is something that, you know, if you just come and watch me, for example, on Twitch, which I'm going to be live in a few hours tonight, there's Twitch drops going to be activated, and for every, you know, every half an hour, 15 minutes, something like that, you can collect some awesome rewards. Then this is the Explore the Community. It's pretty straightforward. You click, go, you know, like, follow, join those social media, and get more War Marrow. Next one, daily login. This is, well, just log in daily and get your stuff. This is the Horus that said from day 3. Keep in mind, he's gonna be awesome. So that's the events part of it. We already talked about the quests. Okay, let me see what else. Okay, so when it comes to the teams, like I said, there is elemental affinity. So if I click here on the element, see, it shows you the elemental affinity. What does this mean? It means that we have fire with poisons, radiant with lightning, and then frost with necrosis. Okay, basically if you have 3 people of the same, or like the pairing elements, you're gonna get some extra stats. Or if you have 5, you're gonna get even more. So for example, that's why I said you have Horus as a tank, your main person as a DPS, Hexandra as a poison healer. You have 3 elemental affinity. Basically everybody's gonna get 20% attack, defense, HP, plus some other boosts. Keep in mind, these are massive, okay? These small percentage that you see in there are actually huge and can mean the difference between you actually beating a level in a dungeon or actually progressing through the story or not. So keep in mind, these are extremely important. So when you decide after the 6 days of you know, the free Clipside torrent where you can keep resetting, keep in mind when you build your team to try and have at least 3 of these. And again, keep in mind the fact that the adventurer can be 3 affinities: fire, frost, and lightning. Okay, the strongest ones are for overall are frost and fire. Lightning can be niche for, like, you know, arena and some crowd control situations, but definitely try to check this when you build real teams, as it's extremely important. Then there's another feature in the game, like if you go into the camp over here to the bottom side, there's another summoning side to the game, which is the Horde. I'm not gonna go too much through it, but basically every 12 hours this one resets, and you just select 3 things over here and you can get yourself a hero. You can get a common, rare, uncommon, or if you're really epic, or if you're really lucky, you can get a legendary. You have to just roll in between certain numbers. You click on the info and it shows you over here. But one important feature here is the cooking, okay? This is something that could help you early on if you get stuck, because you can go over here and let's say, for example, I put a tomato with a piece of meat, okay? I just go cook and let's see what we get. Roll the dice. Only 6 plus 3 because my intelligence. That's 9. So I got myself beef salad, increases ally attack and accuracy, okay? These are consumables that you can use in battles. So in story battles, in dungeon battles, in most battles in the game, you can use the consumables. Again, these ones are really important because they can be the difference between you actually passing that stage or not. Trust me, they're really massive, especially when we're talking about going to the dungeon. So keep in mind about these consumables, and every time you do something new, it's gonna appear here as a new recipe, okay? We're gonna try to work on our tier list that I was talking about earlier to try and introduce every single recipe that we can find out. We're gonna try and post them there to, you know, again, help as many of you out there as we possibly can. But yeah, then obviously we're gonna have the forge, but this is something I want to cover at a later stage because early on it's not really worth it to forge, okay? So don't go too crazy in the forging. Only once you get to like maybe the epic point, that's when you're gonna be like, okay, it might be worth to forge more. Early on, okay, maybe you forge a few because you have quests or you have to do it, you know, in the adventure book, or you need a little bit of gear on your people. But don't go blasting all of your iron ore because you're gonna find out that you might run out of it. So just, you know, be careful. And then when it comes to the gear, I want to just talk a little bit about the gear. When it comes to the gear, let me move myself out of the way so you see it. Early on, don't level up too much gear, okay? The common gear, definitely level, okay, like you see I have level 8. Level up like 5, 6, 7, maybe up to 10 pieces of each slots if you want to use it on several people. But don't go too crazy because you're gonna outgrow it and you're gonna get better one faster, okay? Then you're gonna get to the rare ones. Same principle. Try to keep a core team that's like, you know, that has gear on them, and every other one's just, you know, maybe have some leftover. Don't sell the gear because you don't get that much. There's definitely gonna be lots of space, so keep that in mind. And a little quick tip on the gear as well: up until you hit level 70s on your people, which is actually 70 plus ascending them, the flat stats are better. Okay, so like as an example, you see over here I have a flat attack, but I also have a, what is it? I have an attack percent, okay? I keep the flat attack on my main one because this one gives us more stats early on. You can only get flat stats, you can only get percentages on chest and gloves. So early on, if you choose flat stats for your, you know, for your bottom pieces, for your people, it's not going to be a bad idea. Don't go crazy leveling up everything that's a flat stat, but keep in mind, up until you hit level 70 or above, flat stats are better. They give you, it's quite a, you know, a noticeable difference. So yeah, I think I have covered almost everything that I wanted to cover in this video, guys. If you do have any questions about this game, if there's any other topics that you think you might want me to cover, or you got stuck, or you do not understand, leave it in the comments below. I will make a video on it. I will try to explain as much as I can. I will try to teach you people as much as I can about this game because I love this game. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it. And yeah, guess this is gonna be it for today. If you do enjoy my content, guys, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.